My name is Kenneth Williams, and this is my beautiful wife, Nancy, and we were married in 1970. She came from a tithing family, and I did not.
I had begun tithing as a young child because I could see my parents do it.
My view of money was, it's mine. I wanted as much as I could get. I wanted to be a millionaire. Nancy had just graduated from Houston Baptist University that previous spring. I still had a year to go in Texas A&M University School of Veterinary Medicine. Through God's graces, she was able to get a job.
I got a call from the superintendent of schools of Bryan Schools, and he asked me if I would like a position as teaching in the Bryan Schools. And I was thrilled, and I jumped at the offer. Well, I had prayed and prayed for this position, and I knew God provided.
We were living in student housing at $115 a month. Her take-home pay was about $400 a month. We were trying to find out a budget, and I figured 115, and we had 2 cars, and we had gasoline, we had this, that, and the other. And then she says she wants to tithe, and I said, what? Which one of us isn't going to eat? And I'll remind you, I'm bigger than you are.
But it was so embedded in me that this is just what you did.
And so she pretty much told me that she was earning the money, and that we were going to tithe. And I thought, okay, she's right. She's earning the money. We'll tithe. But by George, when I start earning the money, we're going to change that.
Why on earth would I not tithe when God had provided the exact thing that we needed? And so it wasn't a question of should we tithe or can we afford to tithe.
At the end of the year, we had saved money. That made an absolute believer out of me.
God had always been faithful, and He provided for us. He's never early, but He's never late.
I saw that God provided, that He just made it happen. It was nothing really that I did other than just open my eyes and observe with what's going on. It really has changed my viewpoint about money and about our obedience to God. I've come to realize that the God that owns the cattle on 1,000 hills owns everything. And we're placed as stewards to whatever He gives us. And He will, as it says in Micah, if you're obedient, that He will bless you. So I've seen it, I believe it, and tithing is no longer an issue. We do it. It took me till I was 20-something years old to do what God asked me to do. He doesn't need our money. He wants our obedience. He wants our heart. He wants to bless us according to His Word. So I would suggest that you start at the very beginning. You tithe, you put some aside for yourself, and live on the rest.
God is willing to provide if we're willing to trust Him, and He wants us to trust Him. In fact, that's why He asks us to give, and not just give, but to set aside that portion first.
If you get in the habit of giving, if you don't think you can do it on 10%, try 1%, or 0.5%, but get started and do it first. He wants to be number one in our lives.